It happened. We got a little bit of snow. And when I say a little bit, I do mean a little bit, because it's just a little bit. You know, it's not very deep. And, you know, there's not quite a lot of it, but it's enough for, you know, you can make some snowballs out of it. And it's nice and fluffy. A lot of it melted overnight. I did have a look last night before we went to bed, and it was quite thick in a lot of places. But it melted off the drive and all that overnight. But it's still plenty, though. It's lovely. Yeah, lovely amount of snow. So hopefully some of it will still be there when I finish work, and I can play in it with the kids when I get in. Lovely. Oh yeah. Anyway, off we go to a main road, see what they're like. Well, look at all the houses, all got snow on them. It looks lovely, doesn't it? Absolutely lovely. And quite a lot of snow on all the crash barriers, and snow everywhere. It's lovely, it really is. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. We've got some lorries parked here though for some reason. Don't know why there's some lorries randomly parked there. Look at all that though, beautiful. All on the leaves and the branches of the trees and everything. Can you believe, right, that last night when all this snow was falling down, and it was about, it must have started about 8 o'clock, I suppose. Yeah, I suppose it started about 8 o'clock. And my missus, well, we're both part of, I don't really go on it, she goes on it. Oh, excuse me, sorry about that. Of a neighbourhood like group thing, and you know, everyone just posts on their things about the neighbourhood, and everyone was putting on there, this snow's absolutely horrendous, something should be done, I can't get anywhere. And I'm looking outside thinking, snow? Yeah, it's snowing, but it's about that bloody thick. Like, what's that all about? Because, what do you mean something could be done? It's bloody weather. Do you know what I mean? I'm sitting there and I'm reading it and I'm just like, it's bloody weather. It's snow. Like, you know, that's what happens in the winter sometimes. And people were saying, I can't get up, can't drive around, can't get up hills and all that. Well, I haven't seen any evidence as yet. And also the school, right? The school sent out a thing saying, as you're aware, it is snowing outside, so we may have to close the school. Close the school for snow that's that thick. I remember walking to school we're back when we used to get proper snow. When my generation was the end of when we got proper snow, and proper good actual snow. And I remember walking to school in snow that was above me ankles, you know, having snowball fights and then coming home. It'd take a lot of snow to close a school, and we all wanted snow days, school closed snow days, but they're, you know, they're a lot pussier now than what they were back then, I think. You know, nowadays just a little flurry of snow, and we're going to close a school just in case a kid slips over and they sue us. Do you know what I mean? But a kid could slip over anywhere. Just because it slips over in school, well, I don't understand that they're scared. That's what it is. I don't blame them. I don't blame the schools, because they don't want all that on their hands, do they? Being sued for a kid slipping over and, you know, hurting his elbow. Yeah, I must say though, I do feel a little bit vulnerable in this little Kia that I'm currently driving. This little Kia, I do feel vulnerable because, you know, small cars, they get pushed around a lot, in all kinds of weather. That van, remember my old van, right? I used to drive that to work. That got me everywhere. I had that for about 6 or 7 years, and that van got me everywhere, right? We had some actual snow at some points. It only lasted a day, but we did have some good snow. I remember going down the M25 on the way to work, and you couldn't see the road. You had to guess where the lanes were, because it was snowing that hard at the time, and it snowed overnight. You had to guess where the lanes were. But that van that got me there never ever got stuck. Nothing ever happened. I never ever got stuck anywhere. Got up hills. You know, it was brilliant. And you're going along, and it never got pushed around. I know you're going to say, well, that weighed a lot more. That van was nearly 3 tons, 2.7 ton that van was, when it was empty. I know that, and this car weighs less than a ton. I'm fully aware of that. But what I mean is, I just feel a bit more vulnerable in this, because you're driving down the road and a little bit of snow pushes you around, you know, and you're like, whoa, all over the place. So now, rather than being in the position where, because I had the van, but if the van did have a bit of trouble, I had the Land Rover Discovery, and that always, I rescued so many people, pulling them out of ditches and just when they were stuck because it was slippery. And now I haven't got either. And I'm in the position where, instead of being the person that is there to help someone, I'm in the position where I could potentially need the help. And for me, as a person that likes to help people, that's a vulnerable situation that I don't necessarily like. But it is what it is. It's all good at the end of the day. This trusty care, hopefully, will get me many places, and I'll have a happy time. A lot of it as well, though, I don't want to jinx myself, so touch of wood. It's you know, you got to keep the revs low. Yeah, keep the gears high and the revs low, and that way you get more torque into the ground, more torque through your wheels. More torque equals more grip. So if you keep momentum up and keep your gears high and your revs low, yeah, you'll get more grip. A lot of people have it in the low gear and the revs high, go trying to get through the snow, wheels spinning everywhere, snow flicking all over the place, and they're wondering when they're not getting any grip, or they're not giving their tyres a chance, are they? If you can imagine, think of it like this in a bit of a way. When you was a kid, or even now if you fancy it, go to a park, yeah, and go on the slide. If you slide down the slide on your front, yeah, and you try to grip the slide with your hands, yeah, and your feet, try to grip it as you're already sliding, and then all of a sudden you want to grab on. It's difficult to get a grip, isn't it? You can't do it. But if you start on the top of the slide on your front, with your hands gripping the slide, yeah, and your feet gripping it, and you can slowly edge yourself down, and then you'll be able to pull yourself back up the slide again slowly. Think of it, that's how it is. If you're already moving, it's difficult to get a grip. If your wheels are spinning, they're not going to be able to get a grip very easily. But if they're not spinning and you're applying torque to them, yeah, at low revs, they're going to bite in and they're going to be out of grip and keep going. You know, but a lot of people don't seem to understand that, and they're just like, it doesn't help as well. A lot of cars are automatic these days because everyone's quite lazy, so a lot of people have automatic cars, and it is difficult with automatics because you have to apply a certain amount of throttle in order to get it to engage and to go, so you have a little bit less control over it. With a manual, you can choose what gear you want. You can start from second if you wanted to, get plenty of torque to the floor. Yeah, there we go, you lot. Oh, we love snow, man. Hey, what a brilliant time. Oh, I remember I said about me idea for making the barbecue pulled pork to have to last for the week. Well, it didn't work out. I cooked it last night. We had 1.3 kilogram of it, right? And I thought that would be plenty. I thought that would be plenty to last a week. But no, it literally made, after we got rid of all the fat off of it, it literally made enough for about 4 rolls of it. So it weren't enough. It won't last a week. There's none left. Well, there is a bit left, but I've got some in a roll today for lunch, and that, and yeah, that'll be that. So if I do it again, I'll have to buy more. I'll have to buy a bigger bit of pork. I used a shoulder. I don't know if you're supposed to use a shoulder. I just read a bit of a recipe and it said get a pork shoulder, so that's what I did. I don't know if there's another part of it that would be better for making barbecue pulled pork, but I don't know. But yeah, it didn't work out, in case some of you were wondering. I didn't make enough. But it was bloody good though. I'll have to try a different recipe and see what that's like. But that was a good recipe, I like that one. Very, very good. Don't just love how bright everything looks. Look at them houses in the distance. Everything looks so much brighter when it's snowing. Doesn't look like night time, does it? I know we've got a lot of light pollution over there, but... And the snow made it all the way here. 40 miles. That snow made it 40 miles all the way here. And the engine's really quiet today. That chain rattle was a minimum today. Some days it's a lot louder than that. Nice little car actually. I can't moan about it too much. It's a nice little car. I do quite enjoy driving it, I must admit. It's not the... it could be a lot worse. So you must tell me, because I'm massively intrigued, what's it like at the moment? I mean, today is... I don't even know what the date is. I've got my watch on. I ain't got my watch on. Today is a good day. I don't know what the date is. I think it's something like the 12th of December, I think. What's it like? Did you get a lot of snow where you live? If you did, what's it like? If you didn't, you know, blah blah blah. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching, and appreciate it all. Think about subscribing. Catch you later, you lot. Take care, wouldn't you? Enjoy yourselves. Love life.